Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to discuss Unit 1 of Block 1 Psychology, Origin of Psychology. So, these are the topics to be discussed: introduction, objective, definition of psychology, and so on. Today we are going to focus on this topic, definition of psychology. So, without wasting any time, let's get started for the revision. We are just going to revise these concepts very quickly. So, let's start with the introduction. In the introduction of psychology, they have just told us that what is the use of psychology in our human behavior and human environment and the human beings, how they take psychology, how they understand psychology, and what are the misconceptions related to psychology. So many people think that psychology deals with the dealing of the abnormal people only. But this is not correct. If you have studied psychology, you know that psychology is much more about human behavior, mental processes, and feelings, thoughts, etc. Not just about abnormal people and their abnormalities. Yes, it does include that, but it's not only about that. Also, many people feel that it is similar to astrology and the gemology and the numerology, but it is far different from that because it is not the one which is used to predict future. So also we have to discuss about the different terms like psychology, psychological behavior, mental processing, etc. So what are the objectives? These are actually the questions that can be put in the examination, and the questions are like, objectives are like, define psychology and describe the historical background and perspectives of psychology, illustrate the methods and subfields of psychology, and delineate the researches of psychology in Indian context. So today we are going to discuss topic 1.2, which is definition of psychology. So let's get started with it. So let's start with this topic, that is the definition of psychology. So in this topic, the definition of psychology, they have told the different attempts to define psychology in the early and the modern era as well. So they said that psychology has been defined in a number of ways. Psychologists have been debating on whether it is a study of mind, consciousness, or behavior. Let's study regarding the early definitions. In the early definitions, you will study that psychology was earlier a part of philosophy. So ancient philosophers, they first of all told that psychology is the study of soul. See here, psychology is the study of soul. And it is all related to the soul. But we know that soul is a very wide and comprehensive concept. It has a lot more meaning. So it was a vague term to be used for psychology, because psychology is not just about soul, it's more than that. Also, we are given this example of Dandapani, who in 2004 stated that people, they were not believing that the soul, it is the only thing that is to be studied under psychology. So it was believed that human beings, they have this soul connection in which the soul will remain forever. It is not going to go anywhere and it will remain there forever. But here the realization of one's soul is the main mission, but psychology is something else. It is a study of soul, but according to them, they said that it became unacceptable because there was no proof showing that the precise nature of soul is related to the psychology. So this was also not accepted. The another definition that was not accepted, first of all, they have told that it was not accepted. So this definition was given by Greek philosophers again, and this shows that it is the science of mind. So some Greek philosophers, they told that psychology is the study of mind and the science of mind. So according to them, psychology was a branch of mental philosophy. In this, you have to know the mental processes, which directly or indirectly they can be seen in the behavior. But you know that definition does not include the behavior which cannot be seen, right? Mind is something which is very complex in itself. It includes the inner thoughts, feelings, and emotions. But what about the behavior that you are showing in the environment? That was not discussed over here. So this was also dropped by the psychologist. Later, psychology was defined as a science of consciousness. According to Bagga and Singh in 1990, they said that the main business of psychology was conscious experience. But you know that it was not accepted. Why? I will tell you. Because consciousness, it is a wide aspect. And consciousness is one that you are aware of yourself, the situation, the surrounding around yourself. But what about the things you are not aware of? Psychology is more about the unconscious and the unknown, the unfelt, the unwanted, the unaware. Except this conscious stuff. And the term consciousness, it does not include the behavior. It is the branch of abnormal psychology. In this branch of abnormal psychology, you need to think more of the unconscious part of your mind rather than the conscious. So the consciousness aspect was also not entertained a lot. So the most entertained part here that is given is the term behavior. It is a science of behavior. This is the most accepted till now. So Watson, who is the father of school of behavioralism, he defines psychology as the study of behavior. According to Morgan also, he rejected the mind theory because it was subject of psychology and insisted that it is restricted to the behavior only, the observable and the potential behavior that can be indirectly observed. Also, Watson said that there are very few differences or no essential differences between human and animal behavior that can be learned. Watson emphasized that nothing is innate, means nothing is inborn, and you need to learn everything. Everything is to be learned. So Woodworth in 1948, he stated that first psychology lost its soul, then its mind, and then its consciousness. But it is still a behavior of sort, as we have seen below, that the term behavior is still there in almost most of the definitions. So these are the current definitions, and you are going to read that every psychologist have given their definitions, and it includes behavior in it. That means behavior part is the most accepted part over here. So see, psychology is the scientific study of activities of individual relation to their environment, or you can say behavior. Now see the different definitions given by different people. Psychology is the science of human and animal behavior, and it included the application of science in human problem given by Morgan in the year 1986. After 10 years in 96, Friedman, he said the study of behavior and mental processes. In the year 1997, study of behavior and mental processes affected by the organism's physical state, mental state, and external environment. It was given by Tavris and Wade in the year 97. Then 98 also about human behavior. Again by Leahy in 98, human behavior and mental processing. Again in 99 by Baron, that it is behavior and cognitive processes. Again in 2003, behavior. 2004 by Einsick is the most important definition. Einsick, he said that science in which behavioral and the other evidence is used to understand the internal processes leading people to behave as they do. So this is also related to behavior. Again, scientific definition. This was given by Mayer, Kuhn, and in the year 2006, 7, and 8. Also, last but not the least, it is Science of Behavior and Mental Processes by Rathis in the year 2008. So from 1986 to the year 2008, all have been about one word, that is the behavior. So you can say that how important is behavior over there. The next topic is nature and characteristics of behavior. Let's move to it. So nature and characteristics of behavior is a very important topic, because from here one question can come in a long format, that is the general characteristics of human behavior. So it was described in the Parameswaran and Bina text, and you need to understand all these points. This is very important, and it can come in the long question format. So Behavior is influenced by a number of factors. The first characteristic. Behavior is influenced by a number of factors such as biological, cultural, social, environmental, past experience, emotional and cognitive, about the feelings and thoughts. Second is behavior varies in complexity. Behavior can be as simple as picking a pen, waving to a friend, reflex, etc., etc. They are just giving examples to tell about its complexity. It can be as simple as just doing the day-to-day task and as complex as flying a plane, rock climbing, something very, very unique, adverse and different. So the factors influencing behavior are of different kinds. Two kinds they are. First, those belonging to the individual, means that the individual does maximum times. That is the general characteristic of the individual. And second one is belonging to the environment. To the environment means which the environment specific behavior is shown by the person. Suppose when he goes to the when he is hungry or she is hungry, he will show some different kind of behavior which is according to the environment, and not always that behavior is shown. Factors pertaining to all the individual, it can be characterized into physiological, means according to the body, like needs of hunger, thirst, and psychological ideas, opinions, attitudes. Environmental factors like physical surroundings, family and friends, larger society, and even overall cultural and social background affects the environment. Individual differences, that behavior is different according to the individual. Behavior also varies from one person to other, as well as from one group of individual to other. It depends upon the bodily condition, physiological condition, past experiences and abilities. It is therefore natural if 10 people are put in same situation, each person's behavior differs from one or the other. Next is behavior shows similarities. Yes, it is different, but many times it is same. See, though behavior varies from person to person, but this does not mean that all the people have the different behavior. At times they will behave in a similar manner. Like suppose if a mosquito bites a person on his hand, he would start itching and showing some discomfort. This is similar for all the people. Yes, so it is not always like behavior is different. It sometimes is also same. The example given here is regarding the dust particle entering the person's eye, and this is universally found. Some behaviors are universally found and they are to be shown in the same way. There are some more characteristics. Let's move to them. The first one is that behavior is always purposeful and goal directed. Yes, behavior is always shown in order to achieve something. Suppose, okay, first is see this. First one, it is approach behavior. Second is avoidance. Approach behavior in order to get something. You are goal directed. You have to get something. That's why you are showing this kind of behavior. Like suppose you are thirsty and you want to drink water. So this is, you will go and take the glass of water. This is approach behavior. That means you wanted to get something, so you are showing this kind of behavior. Some are like avoidance behavior. Negative goal avoidance means in order to save yourself from honeybees, you start running away. So this is the behavior that you are showing in order to avoid a particular discomfort that is getting bite from that mosquito or that honeybee. See, now behavior is changeable to large extent. Yes, behavior is changeable to large extent. It varies on different factors. Like a good person can become a bad person, bad can be converted into good by the process of learning that you shall be reading here. Second is that behavior shows stability. Behavior shows stability. Yes, certain behaviors are like which show stability in all aspects of life. Like a very good example is given here. Like your grandma, she is now living in a modern, ultra modern society, but she may have the old thinking ideas and way of living the life. Last point that we have here is behavior is integrated. Integrated means behavior is influenced by a number of factors. Different factors influences your behavior. It is not only that the